never seen that movie, by the way.
Really?
Today, I just wanted to tell you guys that today I saw someone with 3 slices of bread strapped to the back of their bicycle.
No. That's lying. You lying.
Wait. What, I need to know the purpose.
Don't believe that shit. I do not believe
All
that
right,
shit.
so I'll explain to you exactly what it was, but this is what it was literally. It was somebody riding a bicycle, and they had 3 slices of bread strapped to the rack in the back of the bicycle. So it was inside the sack.
When you mean
the loaf of
strapped,
bread comes
when you
in,
mean,
and it was like strapped, like actually like fastened,
like pressure
to the rack. Yes,
on the slices.
like it was being like bungee corded down around the rack of the bicycle.
the bread is ruined.
3 slices of white bread in a sack, and it
had
was strapped
3
to the back
halves.
of a bicycle.
He had 6 halves of bread.
Listen to me. The bread
Yeah, I
is
saw that
ruined.
today.
The bread is the bread. I understand what he was trying to do.
He was saving that bread for later, bro.
He couldn't. You can't ride a bike and try to hold bread at the same time. Like that's
It was
only
3
certain people
slices
can do
of
it.
bread.
You need a basket.
Wait, hold on. You talking about 3 literal
3 slices?
3 individual slices of white bread in a sack.
That's why I'm like, you talking bullshit. He lying. There is no way.
No, not 3 loaves of bread.
I kept hearing 3 loaves of bread.
No,
he said
3
3
slices of bread.
Did the person look like they? Did the person look like they had all their faculties?
They looked like a normal person.
Wow.
Looked like he was coming from a. He looked like he was coming from a long day of riding his bicycle. There was somebody else riding a bicycle right behind him. I didn't know if they were together or if they were just coincidentally riding a bicycle at the same time.
Bread.
But homie had a sack of 3 slices of bread strapped to the back of that bicycle.
Yo, the times is tough, yo. You gotta make sure the bread make it back.
Groceries is
You gotta
expensive,
make sure
man.
the bread doesn't run away.
That's what inflation is doing to people.
Inflation is making people go crazy, bro.
Oh, gotta have that bread later, bro.
I gotta put the fucking bread on the back, fasten it real softly so it doesn't get bruised.
It was
Wonder Bread.
It was not fastened softly at all. That bread was not going anywhere. I promise you that bread was not going.
That bread said.
I'm trying to like picture this in my mind, like
just
there's no way to picture it.
Just imagine random guy, hat backwards, just shorts, t-shirt, sneakers, riding his bike, and just there was a black metal, like
so look at me.
Just
look at me. Imagine me on a bike.
Guy was on his bicycle. 3 slices of bread left in the bag. Maybe they had sandwiches at the park or something. I don't know, but he took those 3 slices to go. He took those 3 slices of bread, put them back in the bag.
He said he had the 3 slices at the park?
No, I said maybe they had sandwiches at the park, and that was the bread that was left over or something. I don't know. You never had a picnic? You never took food to the park and had a picnic?
I don't even know. I don't want to know.
I'm trying to give this person the benefit of the doubt, is what I'm saying.
I just want to know the properties of the bread that he knows that we do not, because it must absorb some sunlight or something.
I would have been very nervous to eat that bread.
Wow!
My fault.
Crispin!
My fault.
I
was getting hungry, bro, because of the bread.
Say bread again. Say bread one more time.
Listen, right? I think I know what he was trying to do. Right? It was hot as shit today.
Yes, it was.
I didn't experience the heat because I have moved up in my life and I have central air.
All right, nigga, you said that shit 3 times already.
Congratulations.
He said peasant.
Fucking flexing. You were talking about Shawny flexing the other day.
Flexing right now. Like I got an air conditioner.
Right
now. You see, I got a haircut. I'm feeling nice. Yes, the fuck I'm a flex. What the fuck is you talking about? You feel?
Can I mute this nigga?
Come on, no, you can't mute me, nigga. Listen, right?
Fault.
It was hot today, right?
Yes,
this is
it
what
was
he was trying to do.
It was
and
hot.
he was probably trying to toast the bread.
But in the plastic bag. I don't know.
He was trying to boil the bread.
There you go. Because there's mad moisture in that.
He said climate control is gonna fuck up. I'm preparing for it right now.
That shit is fucking moldy as shit. By the end.
I'm not making this up. I legitimately
that nigga
saw this person riding a bike with 3 slices of bread.
He wild for that.
Strapped to the back of his bicycle. And I said, you know what? That's how we're opening the podcast today. I'm gonna bring that up.
That's a good way to open it, bro.
I'm so glad I work from home, bro. I don't have to go outside and see that
and see people
bro.
like that.
I'm so glad I work from my crib. But thank you, John, for your pleasant story. Let's start up the pod. We're 5 minutes in, and we already late, actually. So, John, you've been gone for a minute, so I don't know if you're ready for this. I want to give a round of applause for John coming back safe from the Leviticus. He's back with us.
The Leviticus.
I'm so happy that he's back with us after having the Leviticus. I actually saw him this week. He gave me this beautiful cut, as you can see. So that's my guy right there. Go check him out at, you know what? We're not even going to drop the barbershop because they haven't sponsored us yet. But as soon as they do, they're going to get a shout out. You feel me? But what the fuck is going on? It's your boy Macky, OMO. What's good, people? I am here with my good brothers. We got Crispin, a.k.a. the Black Kage. We also got, finally, I got a steady stream.
Finally,
we got a steady stream in Platinum Shawny and the razor sharp assassin with the clipper in Johnny B. And we are the Paradise Podcast. Welcome to episode 53.
Bienvenidos al podcast. Bienvenidos al podcast. Salud para todos los tigres que están en la calle. Salud.
I don't know if y'all saw what I did there, but I did the Johnny B episode 53. Anyway, so we are here today. Welcome to episode 53. A lot of shit has happened this past weekend. John made an actually really funny joke that I'll tell later about my music career. Excuse me. And I'll tell it a little bit later. Hold up. Oh, excuse me. So anyway, let's start it. You know how we usually start it. One day I'm gonna make a drop about this when I'm free, because I've been busy. But what you watching, play, what you do, what you do it, aka the recap. And it's your boy, so I'm gonna go first. All I've been really watching is One Piece. Finally got up to Dressrosa, like towards the middle of Dressrosa right now, because that arc is dumb long, but it's like really good. It might be my second favorite arc, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of lore in there. So yeah, I'm at Dressrosa right now. Games I've been playing, I've been playing FIFA, of course. I've been playing a shit ton of Mario Kart because they dropped the two newest. What do you call it? The tracks or whatever. Yeah, 2 new courses or whatever. And one of them just took me back because I remember playing that shit on the Nintendo 64, and I was like having flashbacks playing that shit. So that's what I've been playing. Also Tokyo Olympic Games as well, 2020 Olympic Games. And I haven't been reading anything. And what I did this weekend is I made beats, and I actually went out to some bars in Jersey City. It was pretty cool. I was singing. I think I went to like this gay bar, 616 or something like that, 626, something like that. And I don't know if it's a gay bar, but it may have been a gay night.
I think I know what spot you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it was mad. It was mad fun. It was really, really fun. They was playing Backstreet Boys in there, so I was having a blast.
Yes.
I was having a blast.
I would have been in there like Backstreet's back. All
right. No, I was going crazy.
Like,
so, but yeah, that's all I did. I didn't read anything. I haven't been reading a lot. I've been like super, super busy. I work like 92 hours of overtime. I know, John, you work more overtime than anybody, so shut up. But I've been working 92 hours of overtime in the past 2 weeks, so I'm pretty tired. So yeah, that's all I really did. So let's pass it on to Crispin. What you watch, play, what you do it.
Well, what I'm reading is One Piece only. Caught up to the manga, you know, all of that. When I'm watching, once again, it's One Piece only. Caught up to 1028. You know what I'm saying? My man's just going crazy. Not gonna say anything else. Let's keep it moving. What I did this weekend was edit like 3 music videos that I'm doing at the same time, so I'm a little stressed out. But yeah, and that's it. That's my life right now.
Okay. Oh, speaking of One Piece, the One Piece film
the movie came
Red,
out
it dropped in Japan.
in
So
Japan and France and somewhere else.
They
I think
did
it's
numbers.
dropping. Yeah, I think it's like the third highest first day opening anime behind Jujutsu Kaisen. Am I wrong, Shawny?
I'll look it up and verify it later in the
I
episode.
think
But
it's.
it's
I
something.
think
It was pretty big, especially
it's
it
like the.
being
I think it was the third highest behind Jujutsu Kaisen. I forgot the. I think it was Dragon Ball Z was the first one.
might be
Um,
Broly.
yeah,
Dragon
Broly.
Ball
Yeah, the
Broly.
Broly
Yeah.
movie.
But yeah, so that was pretty amazing. But yeah, sorry. Shawnee, what you watch playing? What you doing? What you doing? AKA the recap.
All right, so I'm trying to open up my Crunchyroll list because I actually did a lot of catching up on some animes I was behind on. So, Baruto, One Piece. I watched that special episode of Doctor Stone that came out some time ago that leads into
This nigga
season
said
3.
Boruto.
It's Doctor Stone.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Let's see. So I caught up on those. I was able to finally start watching, not watching, but continuing on JoJo season 6. Yeah, season 6 on Netflix. So I'm purposely one episode behind, and then I'm going to continue the fall with everything else. And yeah, so I think that was it for that. Also, that One Piece episode, straight up fire.
Jesus.
It was trending. Well, we need to talk about it a little bit at some point. Yeah.
John,
I'm
hurry
not
up and
caught
catch
up.
up, nigga.
Spoiler free, of course.
I'm not caught up. I mean,
about
I've read it though, but I'm not caught up. But I read it. Continue.
Yeah, so I'm playing. I mean, I just been playing Pokemon Go. I'm trying to find. I'm in that slump where like I want to play the PlayStation, but also just want to relax, and relax always beats it out. So I haven't really played anything, and then reading. My Hero was trending this weekend. So John, I highly recommend, or anybody watches, to go block some words on Twitter because it was trending this weekend. Some shit went off.
All right, I have to read it then.
You gotta go read it, bro. You don't want to get spoiled on this one.
I don't get spoiled, bro.
Oh, this is true. And then yeah, One Piece, and I caught up on Tokyo Revengers, but I'm still a chapter behind. But that's pretty much it. But speaking of reading, there is no One Piece, My Hero. There's no Shonen Jump next week because the magazine's going on a week break.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No new chapters.
Crazy. This nigga went on a month break, came back 3 weeks, and now going on another break. Especially after the chapter that he just dropped. Again, I didn't read it, but I heard about it.
That one is not his fault though.
Yeah,
I know it's not. I know I'm not blaming him.
But they tend to like they line it up because they know I'm gonna get a break. I'm about to hit you out with some shit to fuck you over.
For sure.
And he hit us with some shit. From what I heard, I didn't read it again. Of course, I saw the spoilers. But okay, great. John, you're up. What you doing?
What you been doing the last month, nigga?
So apologies if there's noises coming from outside my window. You know, it gets hot in this room, so the window's open, and you know, Jersey City's sounding off tonight.
It's the summer.
So yeah, apologies if y'all hear anything. But so like Mac was saying at the beginning of the episode, I was out for a while because I was very sick. And I did have COVID, and I did have to quarantine myself. My COVID experience was pretty rough, and majority of the time that I was in quarantine, I was in and out of consciousness, just kind of falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep, waking up. So I didn't do too much extracurriculars. I kind of really wasn't fit to be sitting up watching something or playing something. Kind of hunched over in the fetal position most of the week, and just something that I have like already experienced in the past that I kind of didn't want to repeat was dealing with something not necessarily traumatic, but something that does cause you some kind of trauma or bad memories. Not indulging.
COVID is traumatic. COVID is traumatic. Having COVID is traumatic, bro.
It is.
It's
but you know, just not indulging in something that you really, really, really enjoy, because you'll always associate that one thing that you really enjoy with that traumatic experience. So I purposefully wanted to stay away from some things that I really did enjoy because I really didn't want to be turned off to going back to them when I felt better, because it would make me feel like I need to get away from whatever I was experiencing while I was sick. So I didn't watch any One Piece during my quarantine time period because I usually watch it with my wife. But that week that I was dealing with being sick, I really just didn't want to ruin that One Piece experience for myself. So I'm not as ahead as maybe I'd like to be, but I did get a really big chunk of episodes done. Excuse me, like in the past couple days. What I did watch during my quarantine was a lot of DC animation. So I went through the Harley Quinn animated series that they have on HBO Max. I thought it was very, very funny. Caught up.
You
It's
watched
really
the whole thing, right?
the whole thing, yeah. So I got through that. I started Young Justice from the beginning, and then I've seen season 1 and 2, but I just really needed a refresh. It's been such a long time, so yeah. So I just went back and started it from the beginning, and then I saw the Red Hood animated film that they did, and then like the DC specials they did after that. That was pretty good. And then just for shits and giggles, so I could fall asleep watching it, I put on Batman and Robin with George Clooney and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I watched that one. It was to purposefully go to sleep. I put it on and I was like, all right, sleep timer on this bitch.
Background noise.
Yeah, it was. I just like to see Arnold Schwarzenegger in the beginning of that movie. I think it's hilarious.
He was Frozone, right, or
He
Mr.
was
Freeze?
Mr. Freeze.
Jesus Christ!
Chill. The bat. Anyway, so I watched a lot of like Batman stuff and DC things. Oh, I also saw Injustice, the animated film they did for Injustice.
They did an animated film.
They did an animated film for Injustice. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it. It's pretty good. Yeah, it made a lot of sense. It was very complete little standalone thing. But it was good.
I gotta watch. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good watch. And so I've caught up a little bit on One Piece, and then I've watched a few movies. I saw Prey over the weekend, that Predator film we were talking about in the group chat. Highly recommend that. And then today I got the chance to see Lightyear in the barbershop.
It's on Disney Plus.
It just came to Disney Plus. Yep, I just saw Lightyear today.
It's been on Disney Plus for like 3 days.
Yeah,
that shit fire.
Yeah, and I did
really
like
good.
it. It was good.
Really
Guess what I'm watching when
interested.
I wake up tomorrow on my day off? Lightyear, motherfucker. I'm watching.
It's good. You're gonna have a good time.
People shitting on that shit so much.
No,
niggas just dumb, bro.
It makes sense. It makes
niggas
sense. There's callbacks to the Buzz from the Toy Story.
I would hope so.
It makes sense. Like they made it make sense. They made the toy make sense for the film. It was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. I like
homework for everyone.
What up?
Let's all watch it. I know all of us have Lightyear. All of us have Disney Plus, so let's all watch it and let's try to talk about it. Like maybe not next episode, but the coming episodes, because I know there's mad shit that we're not going to be able to talk about on this episode that we needed to push back. I still need to talk about how Charles Xavier is a villain and all that other shit. So,
you and your crazy theories.
It's not a theory. It's not a theory. It's not a theory.
Definitely,
it isn't. No, it's not. But anyway, yeah. So I'm sorry, John. Have you completed?
Yeah, I think that's it. Lightyear, Prey, which I would love to talk about, but you guys don't watch alien movies, so we can't talk about it.
No.
And yeah, and I'm freaking falling behind and searching for my etchies that I like. I got really bored of
this nigga said
some of the ones that I've been watching. I got really bored of. I've been watching Girls Bravo. Got bored of that. I finished Ladies versus Butlers. That one was semi boring. Yeah, so I need like something that's actually good.
They should have kept animating They should have kept animating Prison School. I can't lie to you. That shit was
That
entertaining.
was a
Yeah, that's a good one. That one was fun.
I haven't seen that.
It's really good. Like I don't even like the etchy shit like that, but I like that one. That one and like Food Wars. Those are like you should watch Food Wars. Have you watched it?
I'm not interested in it because I don't care for the food that they're making.
Oh, because you're a vegan.
Yeah, so
you know what?
It kind of defeats the point of orgasmic food when I'm never gonna look at that like, oh, that looks good.
But that's not the point, though.
That's true. That is
They're
true.
Cooking.
That is true.
They are cooking.
No, but that's not why you're watching it. You nasty fuck. Like, what are you talking about?
John, go watch
Project references. I want to see titties.
Go watch Project K.
Food Wars. You're gonna see titties, bro.
I thought it was just the orgasm gags.
Bro, the food is so good they go naked. What are you talking about?
Their clothes rips off. Like,
okay. I thought it was just.
He's like, okay, now we're talking.
Everybody freaking wetting themselves over this food.
John was like, okay, now we talking.
Now we talking.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll give it a try, but if the food creeps me out, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, this thing.
Bro,
it's actually good.
It's really good.
I watched it. I actually recommend it in dub. It's pretty good in dub.
The dub is really good. Really good. All right, so let's move on because there's a couple things that I wanted to mention. I know we all just saw, and by the time everyone is hearing this it's not breaking news at this point. But Ezra Miller has been, because you were talking about DC, so let's segue to DC a little bit. Ezra Miller has been arrested for felony burglary because he stole alcohol from someone's house. Your reactions? Look at Shawny dying.
Not the first time that he's been found in somebody else's house.
Stealing alcohol?
No, just in somebody else's house.
How many more
people's houses?
Yeah, that's not the
first time.
Somebody
had to call the cops on him once because he
broke into a house.
He broke into somebody's house and was just hanging out.
Yeah,
and he didn't want to leave.
Home and was like, "Oh shit."
They only called the cops because he wouldn't want to leave. That's funny.
No, like, hey, Ezra Miller's in my house. You don't want to leave. No, I didn't invite him.
Like, no. I mean, he was here when I got here.
He was here when I got
but
home.
Since he's cool, I was cool with it. But now he don't want to leave, and I want to go to sleep. Get him the fuck out my house.
Look, man,
that's crazy.
I personally think that at this point. They shouldn't even give us this Flash movie. Just can it. Because what's the point if I understand they spend money on it? And this is not really to like have a whole deep dive discussion because this is not what we're talking about today.
Bro, they canceled Batgirl. They don't give a shit about anything.
That's gonna be an episode. We need a whole episode for the whole shit DC's been doing.
So they just came, and we can like table this for another episode too. But they just came out and said that they're trying to do like a 10-year plan similar to what Marvel is doing and Disney. That's what they said.
Trash, bro.
I don't think they're trash. I think it's more of like what John was saying and what I think we all kind of agree on. It's like when you have, so there's
you need a Kevin Feige for DC.
You not even a Kevin Feige, but you just need one person that is gonna look over everything to like just control everything instead of having standalone movies that don't connect to the storyline.
QC what needs to be QC.
Exactly.
As a collective.
Something cohesive.
As a collective.
But the person that's in charge of DC right now threatened to quit his job.
He better.
Over the whole thing. So everybody's just like, oh,
that's gonna be our episode.
He says he's staying on until October, I think is when the Flash movie comes out or something like that. And then that's it. Like he might just walk away from his position after that. But we don't know. We gotta see.
Just to like preface this, I know people have already heard about this too. With HBO Max, what's going on with them? A lot of the shows that they had on there have been taken down. Batgirl was canceled. The Flash was canceled. It's because of
they canceled the Scooby Doo.
Yeah, the sequel to Scooby Doo, Scoob or whatever that shit was called, Scoob 2. They canceled all that shit. So I think it's just very interesting to watch the downfall of like probably one of the best streaming apps that we've had in our lives.
Because they're revamping because of that merger. They merged with Discovery, and they already
not merge. They Warner Brothers was bought out by Discovery.
Yeah, but what's happening is they're merging their streaming services together. They announced that
by
so
next year, 2020, by 2020.
So that they're hopefully, right, with the verbiage that they're using, they're gonna make the streaming experience probably better, or make the user interface probably more intuitive and things like that. And then they're probably going to expand the library that's available on whatever they decide to brand this streaming service. If they're going to keep the HBO branding or make something totally new, we don't know.
They're gonna. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have it They're gonna absorb Discovery Plus into it, just because the amount. It's like, all right, are you gonna beast to get HBO Max, or are you gonna beast to get Discovery Plus that has all the HBO stuff? It just wouldn't make sense. I feel.
I think that for brand purposes, they should probably keep it under the HBO branding. Yeah. But whatever they choose, because we obviously see that they're burning the house down and claiming the insurance money.
What we obviously want does not matter to them. So it is what it is, man. But anyway, on to what we actually came here to speak about, and it's Pokemon. So,
sir,
gotta love them.
Shawny, please take over.
Gang.
And what the take over?
Okay,
Let's go.
Gang.
So this, I think it was August 3rd. August 3rd, if I'm not mistaken.
August 3rd.
Yeah, there was a Pokemon Presents that talked about all the things going on that was Pokemon. So they talked about Pokemon Go, that Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Masters, just a whole bunch. It was like a good 19 minutes worth of content.
Bullshit.
But
the tournament in London.
Yes, the world.
Chris Brown presented that.
Yeah, the executive whose name happens to be Chris Brown.
This motherfucking
yeah. A lot of people
Crispin said, "Yo, black ass."
A lot of people make fun of that moment. They were just like, "Oh, look, Chris Brown.
Look at Chris Brown."
Pokemon.
I think it was funny. It was funny.
So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet took up the later half of the episode. So we all watched it. Just wanted to talk about it because this is a big deal. It's the first open world Pokemon game, the first game where you don't have to follow the linear path of going to X, Y, and Z towns to get your badges. Like it's all open world, 4-player co-op. That's not like just for battles that you can explore together, go battle Pokemon, do the raid battles, train together. Like it's just a completely different experience and very the word's escaping me right now, but I can figure it out later.
It's definitely
ambitious.
A more interactive. Yeah, ambitious is a good word. It's a more interactive multiplayer experience rather than just doing raid dens and
and stuff like
and just doing those Gigantamax battles and stuff.
All right, so where we starting at?
So just I took some points to make down. I want to discuss and get your thoughts on it. So they revealed the Paldea region, which, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to resemble Spain.
Spain and Portugal.
Yeah, it was inspired by Spain and Portugal.
It's called the Iberian Peninsula or some shit like that?
Yes, the Iberian Peninsula.
Fancy.
Yep.
So based on that, we'll start with.
Look at you, college bound motherfucker.
Oh
Look at this
God.
nigga.
College
my Lord.
Yeah, I was about to say he's not going to college. He's definitely
left that shit a long time ago.
Don't correct me, motherfucker.
So
you've already been corrected.
Based on the trailer, I wanted to get your thoughts. How do you feel about the open world aspect of the Paldea region? If you're not familiar with everything Paldea, then just how do you feel about the open world aspect of the game and whatnot? Like, are you excited? Are you nervous because it's deviating away from the linear path?
For me, I always wanted a Pokemon game like this. This is what I wanted from Pokemon. All the other games, I'm like, yo, bro, why I'm still playing Pokemon Yellow? Why am I still playing Pokemon Yellow? I need new shit. Like, I used to see Grand Theft Auto niggas driving all over the place, jumping on fucking, only the Spanish edificio, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. Like, you get on top of fucking...
Just climb on top of buildings and random shit.
Exactly.
And
there you go, building.
Stuff
Why that word didn't come to my head? Building was not coming to my head at all.
I don't know.
Like going on top of buildings and shit, doing all that shit. And I was like, imagine a Pokemon game in my head.
In my head, I was said the word. Oh, continue. Sorry.
Edificio.
Lo siento.
So I imagine in my head always like a Pokemon game where like Pokemon are just walking around, you know what I'm saying, attacking you and shit, like Legends was. And I was like, when Legends come out, I was so excited. I was like, fuck it, this is about to be it. But it wasn't it. It was good, but it wasn't it. Now this one looks like it's about to be it. You know what I'm saying? Like you do the regular Pokemon shit with no constraint. Just do your thing, boy. If you die, you die. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I'm with it. What about you, John? What's up?
There's a lot of information that they gave us, right? So some of my comments might be for some of the things that we haven't brought up just yet. So I'm going to try to just keep it to the open world stuff. I'm excited. I felt the same way you did about Arceus being a really good introduction to what an open world feeling would be like for Pokemon experience, which was great. But there were no gyms or anything like that, so you don't get that traditional Pokemon experience. But I like the experiment that they did with Arceus. It's definitely fun in its own right. With Scarlet and Violet, seems like it's going to take more inspiration from Breath of the Wild. Give us more of that go in any direction you want and experience the story at your own pace.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm unsure of is the way that the gyms are going to work retroactively to one another. So if you visit one gym and finish it, do the rest of them automatically increase in level difficulty? Or are they at a set level difficulty and you can just tackle any one of them at any time you want? So like if you're only level 15 and you want to fight the level 30 gym leader right away, like it's gonna suck, but you can try. Like I don't know if that's the way it's gonna be.
I think that's the way it's gonna be because according to the website, it says that there's no level scaling or some shit. So just like if you're the lowest nigga, you're the lowest nigga. If you're the highest nigga, you're the highest nigga. I think that's how it's gonna be.
So you can attack the harder gyms.
Yep, you can just go all the way up to that motherfucker
if you want to, and then deal with the level 10 gym at the.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. So repeat that. You're saying that you can
you can go to any gym at any time.
And that would be like, would the gym be comparable to your current?
No. So what he's saying is that the website.
So it's like in Breath of the Wild, if you go all the way to the end, that nigga about to fuck you up because you're not ready.
Yeah, like you can fight the main villain at the beginning of Breath of the Wild if you want to, but you're so underleveled and so. Like you don't have any weapons or anything really to stand a chance against him. So you can try, and some people do it because they're animals. But like I mean, you can watch people do it. Like they start the game and just beat the final boss. But it's practically impossible. It wasn't designed for you to be able to do it that way. But he's saying you have the option to. The game gives you that much freedom that you can literally just fight the final boss at the beginning. So with Pokemon, what he's saying the website is telling us is that the gyms will be the gyms, just like the way they are in a traditional Pokemon game, where when you get to that gym, that gym leader's Pokemon are at a specific level. So as you as you progress through the story, you naturally will hit those gyms in the order in which you're kind of supposed to, because you won't be leveled correctly. Like if you just start at a different place. In some Pokemon games in the past, you were able to maybe hit a different gym at a particular
like an option
point.
of one either or. It was like
it was like one or the other you could visit first, but
I don't remember which one it was. I think it was actually
Johto. You could do that. It was, the first time you could do it was in Johto when you could do Gold and Silver, where it was going to Mahogany Town. You can decide when you wanted, if you wanted to do Mahogany Town or the other town that's close to it. I forget which one it is.
To me, the most exciting part of this game, to be honest, is just the fact that you as a student have three options, or as a player have three options of story. Like you could go through the gyms, or you could go do these two other things that they haven't talked about.
Which one of them I believe is going to be the evil team, which the evil team looks like it's that you saw that party bus in the trailer with all the colors and all that stuff.
You know what's funny? According to, I don't like talking about leaks, but according to leaks, the motor of that party bus, the motor, that silver and purple thing that was in the middle, is a Pokemon, according to leaks. So they have a
That'd be
Pokemon
cool,
inside.
but
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
that'd be cool. But
we gotta see
I
the
don't.
story.
Yeah, I don't think it would make sense to have like a motor de Pokemon like that.
But we have Rotom now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Rotom is a ghost
Like
electric type
the
that
cell
can put
phone.
it can put itself into whatever technology it kind of wants
Okay.
That
to.
shit can turn into a
So
washing machine, a
a
lawnmower.
lawnmower, a
Like
refrigerator,
we're
a
far past
fan.
the logic of Pokemon, bro. Like the Pokemon, it literally can be like ghost swords that just
Okay.
evolved to be more swords, and chandeliers, ghost chandeliers.
Okay. So let's.
Yeah, we have ghost chandeliers now too, and a ghost
Shawny,
teacup.
what do you think about the open world?
Um, excuse me. Well, like I was thinking, as John was giving his explanation, I was thinking in my head, like, it's kind of cool the fact that you can actually just like go pick what gyms you want to go to in battle, regardless of the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I remember like when you
Welcome
used to
back.
play like old school Mega Man, like they would make you choose which boss you wanted. The boss had no level scaling. It was just a matter of, all right, which ability do I want to go get first? That's gonna help me out in X, Y, and Z. But
Yeah,
the only thing I think about is like, is it truly, it's like, yeah, I can go to any of these gyms and challenge them and shit, right? But my whole thing is like, if the level scaling is a certain way, then doesn't that stop? Just doesn't it force you into a linear route anyway?
What you mean?
So if
your
so,
phone is definitely still ringing.
I keep muting it. So basically, what I'm saying is like, if they, all right, it's freedom to choose whatever gym you want to go to, right? But
Yeah.
if if there's no level scaling, it's like if I'm level 5, I might want to stick to the gym that's level 6, even though I can go to level 60 gym. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, doesn't that still route you into a linear route?
But since there's two other stories that you could do, if you start in one of the other stories, by the time you come back to the gym, you're overpowered on the gyms. You know what I'm saying?
You're
So you don't really have to start in the gym.
Because it's 3 different stories, so you can do any of the 2 stories.
Yeah, you don't have to start in the gym. Like you could just be like, "Fuck it."
We're also assuming that that's
We're
going to be a
assuming.
part of the open world experience. It may be something where some of those stories aren't accessible until you finish your gym challenge or something.
Once again,
like that.
according to the explanation that they gave after they give the trailer, because you know how they gave the trailer and then they give the explanation.
That they explained everything. After.
Yeah, she said there's 3 stories that you could embark on any order of how you like it.
Oh, okay, maybe I glossed over that detail.
Yeah, so
but then Crispin is correct if that's
that would be. It's like, okay, I don't want to do gym right now. I want to go around the region, get strong Pokemons, get fucking Titan or some shit, so I can fuck these niggas up with this big ass whale nigga. You know what I'm saying? And just go around messing up these gym leaders. Like, if that's what you want to do, some people are probably gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna go to the gym and then I'll do everything else. I'm most likely gonna do everything else first. That's how I'm probably gonna play it.
What did you guys think about the new? Oh no, Mac hasn't talked about the open world.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
yeah, we hear you.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Hear you and see you.
You good?
My bad. The power went out of my room, so I do apologize about that.
Oh, that's what happens when you have central air, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mute this bitch ass nigga. Shut the fuck up, John. Listen, oh yeah, so the I mean, I'm excited. I've been playing Pokemon, I want to say, for like over 20 years. I mean, I did have like a what is it called? Like a pause or gap. That's a better word. A gap in my playing.
That's why.
Not really. Not because I wasn't faithful. It's because I kind of felt like I outgrew having a handheld game, and I was super into the. Hold up.
Use this nigga again.
John, shut the fuck up. John, shut the fuck. Shut the fuck up. Motherfucker came back after 2 weeks, my nigga.
You ain't loyal, nigga.
Ready to start shit.
Sheesh. Listen,
you missed me. Stop it.
No, I did. I really did. I did. But I had a little gap from like maybe 2018 2008 to like 2019. So like a 10-year gap. But before that, I got like almost every Pokemon game that came out. And then I got, Shield, I believe it was, yeah. And I was excited to play Pokemon again because it had that, the real world, open world, feel that we're getting with this one. Just not on the same type of scale. So I'm very excited. I want to see, how a lot of the shit, like a lot of the things that you guys said. I mean, I know I dropped out for like maybe 5 minutes or so, but a lot of the things that you guys said, like whether it be the like how the power scaling will be, whereas you go to the highest person, can I fight him? If I go to the highest person, I fight him, or will there be not really that, but will there be like XP sharing? Is that still in the game?
Yeah,
Because
there's
It
still
looks like there is, yeah.
mandatory EXP share.
because that
Just like
shit
it
going,
is in Diamond and Pearl.
that shit is a blessing.
That's a kicker
Because
right there.
oh my god, bro, I remember playing the other Pokemon games when that shit wasn't a thing, where I had
You
to
had to,
like I
Bro,
had to grind and make each Pokemon strong as shit.
you had to put the Pokemon you want to grind on the first and then switch it out so it can get XP.
Oh my god,
I forgot to
bro.
bring it up during my segment, but I've been playing a little bit of Pokemon Silver on my
Oh my
3DS
God.
that
You're
I
dying.
downloaded, and I'm like, wow, this is taking so long, and
So
like,
fucking
You're
and,
dying,
and my
bro.
Pokemon are like level 15, and I have like maybe 10 hours in this fucking save file. It's ridiculous. So yes, I understand your happiness when it comes to having the EXP share.
bro, I
I don't
honestly
enjoy all that grinding like on the
playing
individual level.
playing this shit now. I don't even know how niggas played that shit. I don't know how I played that shit when I was young.
I don't know
That's
how I
probably
enjoyed
why
that
I
shit.
never.
Not
That's
how I
how
played
It's
it.
fun.
How did I
Well,
enjoy
because
it?
you never had because that was the
what
formula at the time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just what it was. It was
Bro.
Like you
it
didn't
was
think
what it
XP
was.
share wasn't a thing. That was
You
just
didn't
a
miss what you never had.
normal. Yeah, exactly.
No, for sure. Of
Facts.
course. Bro. I'm being facetious. Shit.
All right. So according to Shawny's notes, right? We're talking about the legendaries right now. We all saw the trailer, right? What do you guys
Shawny,
think about?
hold on. Sorry, Shawny, do me a favor. Get yourself in the middle of the camera. I understand you want to show Deku off, but he's not speaking. You are.
Oh, I'm
So
eating. So I cut to the left when I eat, and I cut back to right when I'm fully.
Bro, eat right in front of the camera, ugly ass nigga.
No,
that's
he's all right. He's fine. Everybody don't need to see him like.
I'm not. I'm just I'm not. Nah, I hate when I see people eat on live.
Whoa,
all right, Crispin,
right,
sorry,
so-
ask the question.
How do you guys feel about the way that the legendaries are going to be integrated? Most likely from like 10 minutes into the game. That's what I'm guessing.
That's what it's
This
looking
is
like,
the- this
right?
is the guess.
Looks
This is
like
the
the
guess.
very beginning of
Yeah.
the game is what it looks like.
And how Maridon and Koraidon move.
Yeah.
Koraidon is the
Miraidon
guy that I'm
and
gonna have on my
Koraidon.
team. So
So
we out here running.
I'm planning on buying the double pack for this one. This will be the first time I've ever just straight up bought both versions like that.
I'm buying both versions too.
I'm gonna go for both versions this time because this looks like a game that Shimada wants to play, and she's never really played a mainline Pokemon game. She wants to play as Koraidon because she likes the Miraidon is the purple one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to play with Miraidon because it functions like a regular motorcycle and has regular plain wings and functions like a boat and all this other stuff. It basically transforms. And I'm gonna play Scarlet so I can get Koraidon because I think it's hilarious that even though he has two gigantic wheel-shaped looking parts of his body, he runs on all
actually not
fours,
wheels.
he climbs up. They're not wheels.
No,
They're just parts of his body.
Organs.
And he runs
Organs.
Organs. I just said parts of his body. I don't know what they are. I don't know his anatomy. Anyway, is just he runs on all fours.
Those are his pelotas, man. What are you talking about?
He climbs up the walls, and you're like holding on to his hair, and like he's swimming, and he's got wings, and he's fucking flying.
That looks gangster to me. This nigga
all that.
This nigga running.
Yeah,
this
so
nigga jetting, dog.
He's going. And I just think it's hilarious.
So yeah, if you guys are buying the game, Mac and Shawny, you guys need to get the purple game, okay? Because
I know that.
Me and
No,
John
I knew Mac
Scarlet.
wanted Violet anyway because it's like the first time we've had like
me and John are
purple.
playing Scarlet. I'm getting both, but me and John are playing Scarlet.
Oh, you want to jump into Scarlet?
Yeah. I seen that dragon, I was like, that's my throw right
there. If you can't tell by my background, my favorite color is purple. Yes,
I would have. I'm going to eventually play Violet.
Oh no, of course, that's why I'm buying both.
Yeah, which is also the reason why I'm buying both. But I have no problem playing the other version, because if it'll get Simada to play a Pokemon game, play whatever fucking version you want, because I know that they're the same fucking game. It's just a few Pokemon might be exclusive to Violet, and a few Pokemon might be exclusive to Scarlet, and maybe a few other things might change, like a town might look different or something like that. In Sword and Shield, there were 2 gyms that switched. There was one gym that was only in Sword and one gym that was only in Shield. So
I don't really care about that.
Yeah, like it's not like you're missing anything dramatic. But I just can't wait to see Koraidon just running across the fucking fields on all 4 with those useless tires.
He looks like you riding a horse, nigga. That's cool to me.
Pretty Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. That is exciting. It is hilarious that he does have those 2 big ass shits
tires on his chest, and he's not
like, my nigga. Use that shit. Hide that shit. If you're gonna run, hide that shit. Because when he stands up, that shit goes in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Like, nigga,
I think they just did it so that way they would look like mirrored, Pokemon. They would have the same. You would understand that this is like a motorcycle type of Pokemon, but since you're playing Scarlet is very like it's like Korai means like in the past, and Mirai means like future.
Future, yeah.
So
and Rhydon.
And Rhydon. So like you're
dumbest names in the world, right?
So you're basically like, showing somebody like, oh, before there was technology, it was just straight up animal power. So
animal power.
You were galloping across the fields, now, but in the future jets. You get that.
No,
we got jets and motorcycles and shit. We out. So
So there's also a part that shows the actual school now. That whatever people were speculating before.
Naranja and Uva Academy.
Yeah, Naranja and Uva Academy. Obviously, Naranja is orange and Uva is grape. Yeah, the schools. We are going to be freaking students again. What the hell? I thought I was done with school. I thought I was done with school.
It's like instead of the main purpose is like on your journey to the Pokemon
catch
League,
all the Pokemon.
It's like you're like basically like conducting research. You're like a Pokemon researcher at a research academy, and then you get to go on this grand adventure, and you get to hit all the gyms and do all that other stuff. I don't know. It just makes it seem like you have more of a purpose rather than like
they
go out there and be somebody.
They said, "Oh, we're gonna go on a treasure hunt." Now, what the fuck is the treasure, though? You know what I'm saying? What are we looking for?
That's the terrestrial Pokemon.
Terrestrializing Pokemon. No, because they would have said that shit. I think the treasure is one of the other stories.
That's what it is. I think the treasure is the fact that the Pokemon themselves become the treasure. When you use that power up and you terrestrialize your Pokemon, they basically become like gemstones. So, how do you guys feel about?
Let's talk about
gimmicks in Pokemon game, right? But before we get to terrestrializing, do you guys understand what a Pokemon gimmick is? Like, if I said Pokemon gimmicks, could you give me an example of some of like the older ones?
Gigantamaxing,
we gotta
Zemos
talk about
and shit like that.
Hold on. Too many people talking at once. I'm sorry. John, ask your question.
John, actually,
no. Shawny wanted to finish the conversation about Koraidon and Miraidon. Right, you wanted to finish talking about the legendaries, and then we can jump back into terrestrial Pokemon.
Yeah, because nobody really mentioned the fact that like it seems like these dudes are going to be available in the beginning.
Crispin actually mentioned that if you were paying attention. Platinum Shawny.
No, he asked the question, but nobody answered their
No,
thoughts on
he
it.
said it looks like you get these two in the first 10 minutes of the
I
game.
know, but nobody really elaborated
And
beyond
then
that.
me and Mac both said, yeah, it looks like they're from the very beginning of the game. And then we started talking about
without
which
them
one
niggas
we wanted to ride on.
to go all the way to
Where
the top.
where were you for the past 5 minutes?
You guys were talking about fucking bikes and crawling for like 5 minutes. So
that
like,
was right after.
That's why I got lost in the sauce.
You missed the cut. You missed the cut, bro.
Well, my whole thing is like, well, if that's the case, then how's it gonna work? And like, all right, are you gonna be able to use them in the battles, or
No.
are they just gonna be like background characters that stay there till you hit a certain level, and then you unlock them to use them?
No, because I'm pretty sure that this is how it's gonna work. This how I'm thinking. Once I saw that we're gonna have them early, right? They're gonna be ride Pokemons for the whole time, so we can get used to looking at this Pokemon. Like, bro, I need this Pokemon to be on my team. And then after a while, there was a cutscene that they looked at, like they stood up and they looked at you like with intensity. If you saw the trailer, I saw it a couple of times. So in that piece of the cutscene, it's like, okay, now I have to fight this nigga so I could catch him because he was just helping me this whole time. This nigga about to whoop my ass.
There could also be something story related where maybe in that one battle it'll just become your partner since it already kind of is your partner, and you'll just be able to battle with it. You know, there are certain Pokemon games in the past where like you had to use a specific Pokemon for that fight. Like if you play Black and White, like the first Black and White, like you have to have Zekrom to fight Reshiram and vice versa. Like that's just the way the story has to go. Is like both dragons have to fight each other. So N has one and you have to have the other one. You know what I'm saying? So like there are
the same
moments
thing in Sword and Shield or whatever,
where you have to have either Zacian or Zamazenta,
and then they have to fight each other, or you have to like fight one of them. Yeah, something like that. Okay.
So you know,
I think that's corny, but like whatever. I think it's corny, but whatever.
I think it's gonna be a part of whatever is going on in that middle crater in the map. It could be something about that.
Yeah, that little volcano looking thing. There's going to be something story related, or there's going to be another legendary. There are always more than just the two box legendaries
like
that are available in every region. So we're probably going to see more legendaries pop up, and that might be an important story beat. Is that volcano at the center of the map that you just like Mount Coronet and Sinnoh in Diamond and Pearl and Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you know, like where we know that like important things happen, you know, because it's the exact center of the region. You know, so I think the potential new legendary Pokemon that we're gonna get, other than the two box legendaries, will probably be where all the story goodies are and what you're probably gonna look for. And I think this is gonna be the first time where they want to make the box legendary just more useful. A lot of people, at least that I know, that play Pokemon, including myself, we don't use the legendary Pokemon in game. It's just kind of something where you catch it because it's kind of like a task in the game. It's like a boss fight and you get to take the boss home with you, you know, like, yeah, sure, fine, fuck it, come with me. But it's not like, you know, like I feel like it takes away from like building a team. You know, like legendaries are like super duper strong compared to regular Pokemon. So it's like you spend so much time building a team, you might as well use the team and those strategies that you built instead of just slapping the legendary Pokemon on your team, just demolishing the Pokemon League and calling it a game.
Facts.
You know, but you know, I know kids play like that. I played like that in the beginning as a kid. You know, I always wanted to use the strongest Pokemon in the game, but I think it makes them more useful. Most trainers will just dump them in the PC, never use them again. Maybe do a fight or two just to say, yeah, I fought with it, just to see the attacks and to do the moves or whatever, and then that was it. So this gives them use, and then this makes it more interesting, right? Like, because since we're exploring the open world, we're going to need something to genuinely explore the open world with. And in a traditional Pokemon game, the most you usually get is a bicycle.
I haven't thought about that.
What's your thought?
They could have just let us use any Pokemon we wanted.
As a bicycle, as travel.
The only reason why.
Like how they used to do. How they used to do in the other ones, like you could get a Pokemon, learn fly, and fly to state, or town to town, state to state, town to town,
It
You
wouldn't be
could
that
swim
HM. You could just
or
like
whatever.
add him to your ride Pokemon. Like this Pokemon on my
Well,
team is my ride Pokemon. So if like I catch an Arcanine is big enough for me to ride on that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're asking for a
okay,
lot, bro. I cannot lie.
so they, I'll give you 2 points. I got two answers to that.
Go ahead, go.
So the last time they did something like that where it kind of worked, it was like a half and half. It was when you had a following Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. In Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, the following Pokemon had the best animations that they had came up with, where the Pokemon would follow you around, and it always kept up with your pace and everything like that. Not like the shitty version we have in Diamond and Pearl. Some of the Pokemon in Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu were realistic, so you could ride on your Arcanine in Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. You could fly on the back of your Charizard. You could cling to the stomach of your Snorlax and just like glide across the freaking the overworld with it. But it was only for those specific Pokemon where they animated that. So the only reason why we wouldn't be able to have that much freedom is because Game Freak would have to animate every single one of those Pokemon doing those same exact actions, and there's over 700 Pokemon in the game, so they just won't.
But how many big Pokemon are there that we really like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So if you start with Arcanine, like, because you don't have to do them all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because if you start with Arcanine, Charizard's not in this game apparently, but let's say Charizard, or any other flying Pokemon that's big and like fucking Rapidash, right? You got these 4 Pokemons and the legendary. You could choose from these 5 Pokemon in this game. The next game, the legendary is not gonna be in the next game, so you erase him. You already have the animations for these.
Yeah, I get that, but the thing is that like they wanted to create Pokemon that could do everything. This one Pokemon can swim, it can fly, and it can get you from point A to point B across large bodies of land, right?
So I think what John is trying to say is that it's on a money. It's.
Here you go.
Oh, brother.
Cat's back.
Oh, hella cat.
Literally, cat back.
I think it's more of like a money issue. Like it will cost money for them to program the game to do those type of things that you're looking to do. While it is convenient and it'll be fun for us, the consumer, sometimes these businesses have to look at things at a business standpoint. Am I gonna make 5 different Pokemon to do the same thing, which will cause me to develop and create, or to pay developers to create 5 different Pokemons to all have the same features, or do it for just one Pokemon? It just makes sense to do it on the one Pokemon.
I understand what you're saying, but
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it to the people who are listening. People on TikTok, people on Instagram, people who are listening. Like I feel like at least that's what I feel.
I'm just saying. Eventually, it's gonna get old to have the same Pokemon doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just because
it never got old to use the bike. It never got
old to use.
It never got old to use the bike, so I don't think it's gonna get old
faster. It's just like, because realistically, in a Pokemon game, you've never been able to do all of those different things, like climb up ledges and just like swim and fly whenever you want. So we've gotten to do that in Arceus, and in Arceus they gave us those different Pokemon that could do all those things. You can glide on a Braviary. You can freaking get inside the freaking the evolution of Sneasel. I forgot what they called it.
Sneasler.
No. You can get in Sneasler's fucking basket and it'll climb up, mountain edges and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gave us those animations in Arceus. Like, exactly what you're talking about is exactly what we got in Legends Arceus. And I don't think they're gonna go that route again, just because
there's more shit that they're doing in this
it's
game.
Gonna be like they just want you to be able to traverse the landscape. When you look at the Legend of Zelda, right, like Link can jump off of any ledge or high up surface that he's on and use his glider and glide from one side to the other. That's exactly what this Pokemon is going to do with its wings. It's going to glide from one end to the other end. It's not just going to fly continuously. Braviary did the same thing in Legends Arceus. It's going to be able to swim through the water or just glide across the water like a boat. And that's going to be the equivalent of having surf. we already have seen that Pokemon is deviating from using HMs anymore. So HMs were the moves like Fly, Surf, Cut, Strength, Rock Smash that you were able to use to interact with the environment. But what they did was HMs were moves that you could never delete from your Pokemon. So you had to be strategic about which Pokemon you taught that move to, because unless you took it to the move deleter, it was always going to know that fucking move. And it might waste a slot on something that you might think is useful in the future in an actual battle.
Yeah,
and using Cut might not be that fucking useful.
Yeah, I think that was for the better than for the worse. Like, it's cool that we can have these moves to do things so we can get around the verse, but in the form of like, what if I finish playing the whole game? Like, I don't need to use Cut anymore because I'm not cutting shit. Everything has been cut in the game.
Yeah,
you know?
like you're flying from town to town. You don't need to get through those barriers. Like you use them for just 2 or 3 story instances, and then that's it. Like you never really need Cut like that unless you're trying to get an item that's behind one of those stupid trees.
The only reason I said that it would be cool to do that is because when you're in an open world game, right, and you see Arcanine, big ass Arcanine. It's like I'm supposed to be able to ride that shit like it's a horse. You know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're saying. Me as a player, I would walk up like, or this nigga could just be like, you know what I'm saying? But nope.
I think
can't do that. I get
Is that how you ride in Dominican?
No, bro. I was just being exaggerated. This nigga stupid, bro.
The way that I'm looking at it is that one, we're looking at Nintendo Switch cartridges. They probably can't hold as much data as like a disc can. 2, when you look at Arceus, is that there was a certain set of Pokemon that could do it, and if you're comparing the numbers between that and what Scarlet and Violet is looking like it's gonna be, their numbers are much higher. They're like, yo, like we're gonna have to put content on this game. We're gonna have to sacrifice some resources somewhere. So I guess that's just their way of, especially if it's gonna be open world. I'm imagining they're gonna expand the fuck out. They have to milk this game. It's open world, so you can put a new regional DLC in the game, and then it'll just make sense to the story.
Yeah, open a new area to the map.
Open up a new area to the map. Like I don't see one. I feel like this could potentially be their Mario Kart 8, where they can milk it for a while, meaning that it's the first open world.
I don't think they're milking it for that much, because people are already used to, like changing the Pokemon game. Okay, let's go to terrestrializing Pokemon?
Yeah, I was gonna say we just had to talk about the terrestrializing of the Pokemon before we transition real quick. I was asking you guys earlier how you felt about gimmicks in Pokemon games. Were there any gimmicks that you guys liked? Like, do you have examples of gimmicks that maybe you hated?
Yo, the Gigamaxing shit was trash.
The Gigantamaxing and Dynamaxing from Sword and Shield.
That shit was garbage.
You didn't like Kaiju Pokemon, bro? That was awesome.
No,
that shit is garbage.
I thought Kaiju Pokemon.
Z moves is garbage.
Let me say this,
the
right?
Z moves.
Let me say this, right? I think for like kids, it's cool.
I mean, Pokemon is for kids.
Of course, it's for
well, it's for everyone, but you know, it's
everyone, but it's targeted
towards
children.
A younger audience.
Yes. So I think for them, it's cool because it's like, okay, I get to fight as a Pokemon as small, and I can Gigantamax, whatever that shit is. Make that nigga fucking
Dynamax.
Make that nigga fucking 70 meters tall or 70 feet tall or whatever, and I can fight with him at that height. But it's like, I think the reason why it was asked to me is because the moves were very, very limited. You had like maybe 4 or 5 moves depending on the Pokemon that you had, and every single Gigantamax, whatever that shit is called, Pokemon. Every single Gigantamax Pokemon had the same moves.
Nigga.
Whatever that shit is called, bro. They all had the same fucking moves.
They did the same moves based on types. So if you had different move types, then you had access to different
was whack.
Max moves in general.
That shit was whack. That was whack to me. That was really whack.
The best one was fucking Mega Evolution, bro.
Mega Evolutions tends to be the more popular gimmick that they did.
These niggas said
They should have expanded on
it. Black Charizard with blue flames. Come on, dog.
Mega Charizard X.
Yeah,
he crazy, bro.
That's my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
They should have expanded on the
Mega
Mega
system.
system.
Is mine. We're not friends.
So we liked Mega Evolutions. I thought Mega Evolution was okay. I didn't get to really play through Alpha Sapphire because my Alpha Sapphire cartridge kind of messed up on me. And I only played through X and Y. Those were the only two games that had Mega Evolutions.
I mean, those were just primal forms. It was just the same thing as like a Mega Evolution. It's just that it was temporary.
They gave megas to, like a lot of those Hoenn Pokemon, the starter Pokemon all got Mega Evolutions and things of that nature. So there were a lot of cool megas. I thought that was cool. I like how their stats change, and I like how it made them, like it gave them something else to ascend to. It was kind of like Pokemon experimenting with Digivolving. That's what it felt like to me.
That's exactly what it was.
Literally
but I think it
all of this
better.
shit feels like that.
Yeah, it worked way better, and it was more realistic. Like, okay, I can see my regular Pokemon being able to beat another Mega Pokemon if we wear it down enough. When you're doing the fucking Gigantamaxing and the Dynamaxing and all that shit, it's like, how the fuck is my Blastoise using Hydro
My
Pump?
Squirtle about to beat this nigga.
And it's a fucking... It's a fucking
Godzilla. It's a Godzilla-sized Pikachu.
And what the fuck? My water gun won't even hit. My Hydro Pump's not gonna hit that high. Like it's just unbelievable.
You felt like it just wasn't realistic.
They were trying to do too much.
I mean, it's an RPG, right? So you just see the animation and then hit points disappear. So like it's just for gameplay's sake, it works. But I get what you're saying.
I feel like this one is a very humbling experience, bringing it back down to speed. But from what it looks like, it changes the Pokemon's typing, and
it does, yeah. And I think it can be its regular typing, yeah. And then it can be.
All depends on the Pokemon. All depends on the Pokemon itself.
So
it's gonna what makes shit a lot very well because it says that all Pokemon can do it.
Yeah,
so all Pokemon can do it. And then, like if you catch two Rattatas, I'm just putting Rattata like out of the open, right? Two Rattatas. This Rattata might have a water terrestrialized form, and this one might have a fire.
The Terra type,
yeah. You just have to see
different.
What the difference is.
Normally their Terra type will be their same typing. It's kind of like they get just like a boost in their stats when they terrestrialize. But then they want you to find the rare ones, which you will usually encounter them in the raid battles that they're showing. So you find a Pikachu in a raid battle, and it might be the flying Terra type Pikachu, which has the fucking balloons. And it might be a Pikachu that is a flying type.
I just want to say something about the actual raid battles. You know how in Sword and Shield the raid dens were like one specific color, it didn't change color. This one, the crystals will change color to the terrestrialized typing color.
Yes.
So if you see a crystal and you're looking for like a Pokemon that has grass, and they'll be like green, so you'll go over there. You don't know what Pokemon's in there until you go in there, but you know his terrestrialization.
And then they also announced that it's real time battling.
Yes.
So you'll be able to just attack when you're ready to attack.
Going crazy.
You don't have to wait for all four players to go, or when you were doing raids in Sword and Shield by yourself, it was 4 NPCs. It was 3 other NPCs that were playing with you. So it's not like you're just sitting there watching the animations go by as you guys are all attacking this Pokemon. You're focusing on what you're doing and you're playing, and you get to.
And I think the way, if they did it like that, the Pokemon itself is going to be stronger than the other way.
Yeah, it'll more than likely be a challenge, but I think it'll be like a more interactive challenge. Like you're not just sitting there
definitely be fun
playing for 12 minutes just to defeat kaiju sized.
And there's another thing too. If you lose, let's say we all playing and they kill my Pokemon, I could like cheer you guys, which is kind of corny as hell, but like cheer you guys on and actually heal your Pokemon type shit.
Yeah, and on Sword and Shield, you just cheer. You're just like, hey, I'm waiting for my Pokemon to wake back up.
Like it literally heals your Pokemon. Like I cheer and it affects your Pokemon, which is kind of cool. If I'm fucking dead already, let me do something. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
think that's cool.
so I think those changes are good. Yeah, I haven't always been a fan of Pokemon gimmicks. I didn't like the Z moves from Sun and Moon. I thought those were
Corny.
super corny. I just hated the animations they did, like when you had to do all that stupid Z
Power
shit
Ranger
with
shit.
your
That
with
Power
your
Ranger
art.
shit.
Yeah, that Ginyu Force shit that you had to do in order to get off your Z crystal move. And I was like, all right, I don't need to see all this animation. Like, just
It's unnecessary.
yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, the kids probably thought it was like cool to like wave their arms in the air like everybody did back when Naruto was a fucking thing and people were just fucking doing all the fucking finger jitsu shit. And so I guess the kids probably had a blast with it, but
Yeah,
it
most
wasn't that
likely.
fun. Yeah, and I like Dynamaxing because I like kaiju movies, and I think like giant fucking monsters are cool, and giant Pokemon sounds cool to me. But
You're the only nigga that think that.
I did think the way that the online battles were for Dynamax dens and raid dens and stuff like that, they were long and can be boring, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So yeah,
Listen to
I'm
me,
glad that
man.
they're
I
different
think
now.
I think the idea is cool. I just think the execution was poor.
That'll be dope.
Let me just say
That'll
it
be dope.
differently.
Like let's say like this in this open world, there were Gigantamax Pokemon, right? It'll be dope if it was like on some random time. I'd just be like,
Just
Monk,
big ass Pokemon just
like this
show up.
big ass nigga, like you're like, oh shit, we gotta beat that nigga up. That would be cool. See,
Yeah,
I would enjoy that. Like if I'm just here and
and
then this
then random
Pikachu
giant
just got
sized
mad.
Pokemon.
This Pikachu just walking around got mad as hell because other Pikachu ate their food. Gigantamax on your ass. Go crazy. That would be dope. What else
Yeah,
we got?
Game Freak would never. Yeah,
Hell no,
so
they would never do some shit.
so
What else we got?
Shawny, is there anything on the Pokemon topic that we haven't touched on yet before we
Oh, the co-op.
Mm-hmm.
or we were
Yeah.
just talking about it? I mean,
No,
we
no.
didn't talk about
Well,
like playing in the overworld
yeah.
together.
So basically, it's going to be 4-player co-op, but it's not just for battling. You guys can, explore the terrains together. You can battle Pokemon together. You can trade. You can train. So it looks like it's going to be like you can even like ride out with your team on your bikes. Like, so yeah, I guess for me, it's like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, do you think that's going to be a nice addition? It's going to take away from anything in it?
I think it'll be fun. We should have a Discord like thing open so we could talk to each other because
and
Nintendo
actually
and
play. Yeah,
shit.
that might be good content. We might actually
Yeah,
all do that. Um,
We have a Discord. Follow it.
so
Rex.
what you call it? I think it's gonna be dope that we get to do all that. I do think that the online is gonna be a little limited. Some of the wording that they used in the trailer was like you'll be able to find Pokemon you wouldn't normally find by yourself. So it might be like a way to fill your Pokedex. You play with other people, and then you can find what you're missing. So we would have to see, like how much stuff they allow us to do together. Like I don't think you're going to be able to progress through the story with 4 players. I think.
It's definitely past bedtime. What's going on here?
She just got home. They were looking at some stuff that we had to buy.
So
Say
she's
hi.
full of energy. That's what that means.
She about to go to sleep. She about to knock out. All right, let's keep going.
Nah, like I mean, it sounds like the Borderlands concept. Oh my god, sounds like the Borderlands concept where essentially like you the more
Yeah,
players who join.
Shawnee just lets his phone ring.
Well, because
Monsieur Populaire.
with the Borderlands concept, it's like you could play a single player by yourself, and there's one difficulty, but when the more people join in, the difficulty goes up, but the rewards go up as well. So I wonder if it's like, hey, you need this many players to increase your chances of running into this Pokemon.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Did you guys think they're gonna do that run and catch Legend Arceus type thing?
Oh, you mean like the
Yeah, I think we
roaming
talked about this. Yeah.
legendaries that like run away from you?
No. You know how when you just throw the Pokemon, catch it.
Oh no, it's not gonna be like that. I think you're gonna like walk up to a Pokemon and then it's gonna initiate a battle sequence,
Mm.
and then you can battle it like that and do that. I just see it being easier for them to program it that way because you don't have any like throwing or catching mechanics like in Arceus. So like the actual like interacting with the Pokemon, I don't think it's going to be the same as Arceus.
Okay. Right.
That's just my theory.
Did you, John? You looked at the map, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see the 4 pillars that were like the 4
Like
light
those 4
towers?
corners. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
If you look at the mini map that's about to the game about to have,
mhm.
they have colors like that in the mini map too, like in the 4 corners of it too. And I
Yeah.
just noticed that like before we got on the pod, and I'm like, we should talk about this because this might mean that these 4 things might be important. To
Yeah,
the actual
I
story.
think it's gonna be like how you got those 4 beasts that you have to deal with in Breath of the Wild in order to like progress the story. Some people were also saying that like those are like where those towers are. There's like these areas where your character will go up to the top of like a circular tower, like a castle looking tower. And
Yeah.
then I think that you have to reach the top of those towers in order to like expand your map and like
So,
open up another section of the map that you'll be able to see.
like in detail in the map and shit, like in the mini
Yeah,
map.
so I think that's
So
how you're gonna
now it
be
would be
able
like
to
blurred out
open
or
all of
something.
it. Yeah, I think it'll just be something where you can't access it until you hit all of those towers or all of those watch points. They might be big checkpoints. They might be, like a boss fight in the area or something like that. Like we don't necessarily know just
Yeah.
yet. But
It'd be
it all looks
interesting.
interesting. The volcano in the middle looks interesting. Well, it's like a crater. It's not a volcano,
Yeah.
but that big freaking thing in the middle of the
Tornado.
fucking map. Yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like
Hurricane
it's
going
gonna
crazy.
be important to the story. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Let's get to the One Piece. Where my One Piece
No.
sounds at, bro?
The drops
We
are
sleeping?
not working, folks.
Took 5 minutes of silence.
It wasn't even that long. Calm down. I was like trying to do something.
Oh, that's what you get for clicking hella fucking shit now.
I only
It's
clicked
gonna
it
run through
once.
all of them again.
No, I'm not. All right, so we have One
So,
Piece. You already know what time it is.
yeah,
Johnny B, let us know where you
yeah.
at. What's going on?
So the last time we met each other, I was on episode
A month ago.
431. It was only like 2 weeks. So
A
the
month
last
ago.
time we met up with each other, I was on episode 431, and I am now on episode 459. So it's not bad. It's not bad.
All right, nigga.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that. I was 2 episodes away from being the 30 episodes.
Huh?
The last
You are
episode,
four what?
2 episodes away from being at the 30 episode
Do the math
Wait,
again.
mark. It was
Wait, yeah, I gotta see the
431.
math.
I was on
Okay,
episode
okay,
431.
okay.
And now I'm on
I
episode
heard
459.
441. I
No,
heard
Yeah, that's what I
431.
heard.
431.
431.
And now I'm on 459.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
so you were
okay.
three
All right.
episodes away, or 2 episodes away. You
Two
said?
episodes.
2.
Two episodes.
That's what I said. 2 episodes
Yeah.
away
Okay.
from
Okay, okay.
being at 30.
Hold up.
I heard 41. I'm like, yo, your math is
So
Okay.
it wasn't that much. I didn't realize that I had seen so much since the last time we
Okay.
did
No, you're
meet.
right around where you should be, so that's good. As long as
Yeah.
you're close to that 30, because you've been away for like I said, 3 weeks. You should 10 episodes a week. You should be around the 30. That's fine. Continue. What's happening? What's going on right now?
So I have finished watching Impel Down because now the story is transitioning into Marineford. So a lot has happened, right? So 30 episodes have gone by. I don't necessarily remember. Oh, I do. No, actually, I don't. I don't remember where I left off explaining it to the podcast. I just remember, like brief summary: Luffy leaving Amazon Lily with Boa Hancock to try to rescue Ace from Impelled Down. being in Impel Down, running into Buggy, Mr. 3, trying to go through the 5 levels of Impel Down, discovering that there is a 6th level and a 5.5. And Luffy ends up fighting various guards and guards that are Zoan Devil Fruit holders, and like the 4 like Minotaurus and all the other ones that this chick was controlling with a whip, that they literally said that they were Zoan Devil Fruit. They were awakened Zoan Devil Fruit users. Just wanted to throw that out there. And then damn, that was loud. But yeah,
that was loud as shit.
Yeah, that was super loud. But what you call it? So throughout Luffy's descent into Impel Down, he also stumbles across Bone Clay, and
Bon Clay
in English. In Japanese, it's Bone Clay.
It's Bone Clay.
Bone Clay. Bone Chan. And
Bone Chan.
Yeah, that's what Luffy calls him in Japanese. Bone Chan. And basically Bone Clay helps Luffy get to a certain part of Impel Down. Luffy's also confronted by the warden of Impel Down, Magellan, who what is it, the poison fruit, or the venom fruit, or what? The man's made of poison, eats a lot of poison, and takes shits all day long. And then there's the vice warden of the prison, Hannibal, who wants to be the warden of the prison so fucking bad, and has no problem being very candid about how he wants to replace Magellan as the warden. Says it to everybody, says it to all his subordinates, says it to Magellan's face. Maybe one day everybody will realize you're a fuck up, and then I'll be warden. So he's just one of those hater ass motherfuckers. Don't want to see nobody succeed but himself. And there's a lot of comic relief there. Buggy and Mr. 3 are kind of forced to help Luffy make his way through the prison, as much as they're trying very hard to just escape the prison and nothing else. They don't really want to help Luffy. They just want to get out of Impel Down. But they do kind of end up being a major part of the largest prison break in the history of the world. And
I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you. Never mind.
So I'm building up to it, right? So as they descend through Impel Down, Luffy fights Warden Magellan and gets poisoned by him to the point where he is inches away from death. Bone Clay knows that there is a man that to him is a miracle worker, the Queen of Queers, Ivan, or Ivankov, right? And he was arrested and imprisoned in Impel Down, and they discover that he was one of these people that the guards say demoned away. So there's like a legend in the prison that people that are imprisoned and Impel Down can just vanish, disappear. They didn't escape. They didn't die. There were no remains. They just kind of disappeared. So they call it demoning away. And Bone Clay believes that maybe Ivan is still out there somewhere, and he wants to find him. And while they're in level 5, which is the snow hell, was the freezing hell of Impel Down, they are kind of rescued by Ivan, and what's the other character's name? Begins with an I. Also, the guy with the wine glass, the scissors, the snip fruit user. So they discover them, and Ivan decides to help nurse Bone Clay back to health after he'd been fucked up by all the snow wolves, and he had gotten into all the fights that he had gotten himself into. And they escaped like the talking sphinx and all those talking beasts from the upper levels and stuff. So these characters are all beat up, and Luffy's on the brink of death, poisoned by Warden Magellan. Um, Luffy begs Ivan to help Bone Clay, which he does, and then he helps Luffy by injecting him with hormones because Ivan has the ability to manipulate hormones that he can inject into other people's bodies. I forget what the name of the fruit was. But Ivan is a real person. He did not demon away.
It's the horn fruit.
Yes, the hormone fruit. Yeah. Um, so Ivan turns out to be real. He is alive. He did not demon away. And he's been hiding all of these other prisoners on a level in between level 5 and level 6 that they call New Kamaland. And these are prisoners that Ivan has helped, as he describes it, that he has helped them become their true selves. He has injected them with hormones to make them more of who they want to be on the inside. Some of them were women that became men, and some of them were men that became women. And it was just everybody being their absolute truest self. And he basically has created a whole kingdom within the prison that he rules. And he does agree to help Luffy. He injects Luffy with hormones that are going to help his body naturally heal itself at a rate that wouldn't normally be possible. In a way where Luffy's body will be able to fight off the poison. The only downside to injecting that much hormone is that Luffy has to agree that doing this to his body will cost him 10 years of his life. Because of the amount of strain that he's putting his body through. Luffy immediately agrees, doesn't hesitate, doesn't think about it, says, "Yeah, let's do it," and he decides to go through. What Ivan describes to Bone Clay as an excruciating experience. We get to hear Luffy in agonizing pain for a few episodes, sit there and fight the poison that's in his body. Ivan tells Bone Clay after he wakes up from his mini coma that Luffy had been undergoing treatment for a few hours before he had woke up, and that he's going to stay that way for quite some more time, possibly 2 days worth of agonizing just for he might survive, might not. It all depends on how strong his spirit is and how bad he wants to get through this. So Bone Clay, being the impeccable friend that he is, decides to stand by Luffy's side and encourage him and shout to him and run his voice hoarse until he's coughing up blood and passes out from just being there dealing with the pain with Luffy. He feels incredibly guilty for running away from Luffy during Luffy's fight with Warden Magellan, and feels like he doesn't want to experience abandoning a friend like that ever again. So he kind of has this thing where he really wants to help Luffy succeed in rescuing Ace from being imprisoned and impelled down. And Luffy miraculously gets better after only 20 hours of fighting the poison in his body, which did take a big amount of time from him being able to rescue Ace effectively. The characters go through some more interactions after Luffy wakes up and eats everyone's food. And Ivan realizes that Luffy is the son of Monkey D. Dragon, which is his adversary, somebody that his comrade, somebody that he is a fellow revolutionist alongside. And he always knew that Dragon was, I guess, hiding some past or some family out there that he thought about from time to time, and didn't know that this person that he met that just so happens to be his friend's son. He also realizes the situation that is going on where the world government is essentially declaring war against Whitebeard, who is at the top of the pirate world at the moment. I guess he's just not considered the pirate king because, excuse me, you guys said he doesn't have the One Piece, right? That's what would make him the pirate king. But he is essentially at the top of the pirate world, and they promised Blackbeard. So they gave us a lot of story. Um, so basically the setup. I don't know. I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm just trying to get all the story out. The setup is that arresting Ace was possible because Ace had lost in a fight against Blackbeard. So Teach, aka Blackbeard, being an ex pirate of Whitebeard's crew, specifically under Ace's command, and Blackbeard had committed the highest crime you could on a pirate ship and murdered a shipmate. And he explains to Ace after Ace tracks him down and finds him that he murdered this shipmate in order to get a hold of the devil fruit that he had in his possession, which gave him the ability to manipulate darkness. So I don't remember the name of Blackbeard's fruit. Is it the dark fruit? I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't
I think
remember
it's
it.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's not a clever name.
So yeah, like they're always something simple and
Always some
funny.
bullshit.
So I'm waiting because it looks like Mac is pulling it up.
Hold on, no. Well, yes, I am pulling it up, but I just wanted to say something. I think it's very funny anytime that in One Piece when someone says they eat a devil fruit, and they'll be like Luffy will be like, I ate the gum fruit and I became a rubber man. Like I just think that is just so funny. So like Blackbeard's like, I ate the dark fruit, I became a dark man.
Hey, dark fruit, I'm black as that.
That is actually so fucking funny,
That's
bro.
funny as hell,
That
bro.
is so funny, bro. I'm so sorry. All right, continue, please.
So
I'm
so
looking it up.
Blackbeard's goal is to also become king of the pirates, and with this devil fruit power, he believes that he can do it with that specific devil fruit power. So not only can he manipulate darkness, but his darkness can pull in other people's devil fruit powers. So he has the ability to nullify someone else's devil fruit abilities.
Correct. So it's the Yami Yami no Mi.
Okay,
It's
I thought
the
you were gonna say
Yami.
some
What?
bullshit. I
Now,
was about
I'm
to say.
looking. I'm not gonna do anything, bro. It's the Yami Yami no Mi, aka the dark fruit. So he is a
What is
dark man.
dark?
Yes. So he is made of dark. I
Darkness.
get it.
He's a dark man.
Made of
So
darkness.
so
Like that.
those are his devil fruit abilities, or at least what they've shown so far that Blackbeard can do.
I'm gonna fucking pee myself, bro. A
No, the
dark
dark man,
man.
yes. And you know, he's not the palest pirate we've
he's
seen, you
actually
know,
black.
so
No, he's black though. That's the crazy thing.
That's
Like, what
hilarious.
the
It's
fuck? Hold
hilarious.
up. What the fuck?
He's black, named Blackbeard with the dark
Oh
fruit. This
my
nigga's the definition of
god,
black.
bro. What the fuck?
so
Okay, keep going, John.
yeah,
Oh,
so the story is that you know, he wants to become king of the pirates, and a part of that is, for whatever reason, because they haven't fully dove into all of his reasoning just yet, but for whatever reason he had interest in taking Crocodile's place as a warlord of the sea. In order for him to accomplish that, his original goal was to kill Luffy as a favor to the world government because of all the things that Luffy is wanted for at the moment, and he was responsible for defeating Crocodile.
You just answered your question. So that's why he wanted to take Crocodile's place.
Yeah,
Because
but
Luffy was the one that defeated him.
yes, but he also just broke into Impel Down and made himself now an enemy of the world government, even as a warlord. So he has other motives at this point in the story. I know that you're not going to tell me, but I know that he has other motives because he literally he just replaced Crocodile and just fucked everything up anyway. So his main goal wasn't probably necessarily to be a warlord. He probably just wanted the warlord status in order to accomplish something else, which I'm assuming was to get this guy out of jail, which is why they made that alliance while they were in jail. Yes, beautiful feline company we have. So 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 Ace hears this explanation and says, well, I'm definitely not letting you rock because one, I'm responsible for bringing you in because you killed somebody on my ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, or on, basically under my watch. And that's not flying. And two, Luffy's my little brother, and you're not gonna do nothing to my little brother. That's number
Bitch ass
two.
nigga.
So yeah, and did you forget that I'm made of fire and I'm practically the fucking sun? Like, let's get it. So they fight, and we definitely see how powerful Ace is in this particular moment, just because we haven't really seen Ace fight like that until they showed us this fight. But unfortunately, Blackbeard is able to nullify Ace's devil fruit power, and he's able to land some pretty gnarly hits, and he's able to subdue Ace during the fight, and that's how Ace gets arrested, and the government gets to kind of use Ace as a pawn in what it is that they want to do strategically against their war on terror. I don't know, their war on fucking pirates. And so Luffy's learning about a lot of things that are happening in the world, because we all know Luffy is clueless. So he's learning about a lot of these major things. And after Ivan agrees to help Luffy rescue Ace, they make a break for level 6. They end up making their way down to level 6, but they had gotten there too late. The government had came. They already grabbed Ace. They already got him set up, and they're sending him to the ships, to the fleet, in order to be transferred over to Marineford, where he will have his public execution. So by the time they get down to level 6, Ace is no longer in the cell. It's just Jinbei. When they're down in level 6, they also bump into Crocodile. And that's when Magellan and the rest of the prison realize that they have made it down to level 6. So they try to trap them down with poison gas, which they have to seal themselves into level 6 in order to keep the poison gas from filling the entire basement. And they bump into Crocodile, who's being held in level 6. He says, if you let me out, I can make a hole in the ceiling. We can get the fuck out of here. Luffy says, I'll never forget what the hell you did to Vivi's country and how you made her feel. And he says, I don't give a fuck about that country anymore. I lost interest in Alabaster. I know that the government is going to fight Whitebeard, and I want to fight Whitebeard. So I want to get out of here because he deserves the smackdown. And Jinbei shouts out and he says, no, release me, because I actually want to help you rescue Ace. Ace is a friend of mine, and I don't want to see him, be executed by the government. So Luffy decides to let out Jinbei, and Ivan convinces Luffy that he should, for this instant, forget about whatever hate he has towards Crocodile, because they could genuinely use Crocodile's assistance. It also becomes apparent that Ivan knows a thing or two about Crocodile and things about his past that Crocodile doesn't necessarily want other people to know about. So Crocodile agrees to behave himself as long as Ivan agrees to keep his fucking mouth shut. So yeah, so they all successfully
These are where some
escape.
one piece theories come into play that I don't believe personally, but
what, that they might have had like a relationship in the past or something?
No. It doesn't matter.
Or that Crocodile might have been a woman that he turned into a man.
Yes, but there's more to the theory, which I'm not going to get into. Continue, please.
Okay. All right. So
actually, fuck it. So the theory, it's like, nah.
So I was just like, oh,
you might as well go now. You already started.
All right. So the theory is that Crocodile is actually Luffy's mother. That's the theory. I think it's a bad theory. I think the theory that he used to be. I think the theory that he used to be a woman. I think that's true, but I don't think that he's Luffy's mother. I don't think that.
Because then that would make no fucking sense to even their fights. It's just like all of that popping off. But the fact that he probably was a woman first and became a man, and Ivan is the only one. Like the point that he would behave himself, I feel like Ivan did that, and then
he changed him. Yeah,
bro.
So
Crocodile dead ass killed him or killed Luffy, damn near.
Yeah, practically killed him.
That wouldn't make sense for anyway. Continue, John.
I get it. I get what you're saying. Like it wouldn't make sense. Like there would be something there that would keep you from wanting to murder your child. You know, you maybe fuck him up a little bit, but not attempt to murder your child successfully.
He put his fucking
hook
a claw
right
through that nigga, bro. Like, nah. Anyway, continue.
And then friggin' sucked all the moisture out of him. You know, we fucking left him like a prune in the desert.
Hold up.
So yeah, there's that. So I do think that Crocodile might have been a woman in the past, and Ivan changed him into a man to be the version of himself he wanted to be. I also just love like the comedy and everything. Like, you know, with that they spend a lot of emphasis on like queers in this part of the story, and like using that word and just kind of you know, just showing how like fluid everybody is and how like normal it's just kind of like normalized for these characters too. Yeah, like, you know, and like the other characters don't care either. They just kind of like, the fuck is this guy doing? Like, why is he spinning so fast? like that. So you know, I just think it's funny, and I just like the fact that you know, like Ivan's a very interesting character, but a very important one. Like, he's not a weak character. He's not some random side character. He's a very important figure, somebody very important in the world, somebody important to Luffy's dad. You know, just an important character in general. And the ability seems to be very helpful, right? He pushed the narrative along, saved Luffy from dying, and turns himself into a woman to fight in one part of the arc as well. You know, so they agree to all leave together. They break out Jinbei, they break out Crocodile, and everybody's moving. You know, Ivan has all the people from New Kama Land that want to go with them to help break out of the prison. So look, this is it. This is the moment of truth. We're doing this. This is how we're going to do it. Some of you guys might get captured, and if you get captured, they might torture you to death. So if you ain't trying to die, don't come. Basically. And you know, everybody says, "Now we out. Let's go." So everybody bounces. And then the plan is to release as many prisoners on the way up as they possibly can to create enough diversions, so that way the prison forces are kind of separated. They're trying to deal with too much at the same time, and it gives the main heavy hitters an opportunity to get out. They're confronted by you know, basically all of the toughest people in the prison to try to keep them from making their way up. You know, they defeat all of the guards, the Zoan guards. They defeat all of them. They defeat, well, Luffy's fighting Hannibal, and he's giving him a whole lot of fucking hurt, and Hannibal's not fucking with it. He's not gonna let Luffy pass until Blackbeard breaks into the prison, makes his way downstairs, and steps on Hannibal's face. Just says, "All right, I can keep going." Meets with Luffy, and then Luffy realizes that he's Blackbeard after remembering.
I forgot.
After remembering that he had met him in Jaya before they went to Skypiea, arguing with him about how good the fucking pie was.
It always comes back to Skypiea. Remember that.
So, you know, he didn't know that was Blackbeard. Ace had told him that he was searching for a pirate named Blackbeard. And, you know, he told him why. And, you know, he told him what he was doing with his life, because Luffy hadn't seen Ace in such a very long time up until that. Ace had left 3 years before he did. And he said that when Ace left, he didn't have his devil fruit power at the time, so he had gotten it pretty recent in his life. And you know, so he confronted Blackbeard and wanted to throw hands, and then realized that he's really not in a position to fight with Blackbeard right now, especially because they don't have time. Jinbei has to remind him If you want to save Ace, you can't be wasting time here fighting with Blackbeard. We got to get the fuck out of here. So Luffy reluctantly walks right around Blackbeard after they have their conversation, after Blackbeard tells him about all that shit. I was going to kill you. Instead, I got your brother arrested, and that's how I became a warlord. So they leave. They end up making their way up to the top of the prison. Buggy and Mr. 3 had also been making their way up to the top of the prison, recruiting other prisoners as they went along, prisoners that wanted to follow Captain Boogie. And they all basically agree to help each other escape from the prison.
It's funny that Buggy did all that back then.
Yeah. So we see a whole bunch of shit. We see Luffy fight with Magellan again using Bone Clay's wax, not Bone Clay, Mr. 3's wax, making the wax boxing gloves, trying not to get caught with the poison. And then eventually, realizing that they can't really fight Magellan because he's got like this demon venom monster, fucking blood poison looking creature that he can make. And it melts everything. Doesn't matter that anything it touches, it's melting, it's destroying it. So they got to basically get out of there. Magellan's also ahead of them and orders all the Navy ships that they were planning to steal from to leave and start sailing away. So that way, when they got to the entrance of the prison, there were no boats. They couldn't go anywhere. It was just straight ocean. So Jinbei rips the door off, throws that bitch in the water, says, "Whoever's coming with me, let's go. We're going to take one of those ships and come back and get everybody else." So Mr. 1, Crocodile, and Buggy decide to go with Jinbei to go steal one of the Navy ships and come back for everyone else. Jinbei tells Luffy, "You got to tell everybody to just jump in the ocean. It's fine. Just trust me. Just go." Nobody wants to listen to Luffy, but everybody reluctantly jumps out into the ocean anyway, and they're all saved by giant sharks. Because Jinbei, being a fishman and a warlord of the sea, is able to communicate with fish.
The first son of the sea, sorry.
The first son of the... Yes, which I don't know Jinbei's backstory just yet because they haven't really given us too much about him. But yeah, that. So he's got Aquaman powers. He can talk to fish, which supposedly is... something that is common in mermaids, not fishmen, but he can talk to fish. And these giant like bull sharks or whatever the fuck they are, they rescue everybody and bounce them along to the ship that the crew was able to steal from the Navy. And they all basically make it out. And then they realize that they can't keep going because the gate is closed, just like that giant gate from Enies Lobby. We learned that there are 3 of these gates, one blocking each entrance to either Enies Lobby, Impel Down, or Marineford. So, and the whirlpools that are created when the gates are closed, and being a calm belt surrounding Impelled Down to keep prisoners from escaping into the water because of the Sea Kings and everything. It's like a whole big thing. Oda does such a great job at explaining how the fucking Earth makes sense. But yeah, so so there's a giant gate, and unless the prison opens the gate, there's no way in hell you're opening that gate. And when they approach the gate, yeah, don't give me that face. When they approach the gate does open up, and Jinbei is the only person that was like, "Oh, we're just gonna keep going straight." And everybody's like, "But how? If the gate's fucking closed, why are we still going straight?" He said, "Don't worry, we're gonna go through the gate." And that's because he knew that Bone Clay made a decision to stay behind when everybody else. That was so loud.
It's fucking loud as shit.
Lower your freaking drop.
That was so loud.
God,
Bone Clay decides
to... That's that. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. He decides to stay behind and impersonate Warden Magellan and tell the guards to open the gate for whatever reason he had, and they were reluctant to. Are you sure we should open the gate right now? He said, don't fucking question me. Open the goddamn gate. And then they open the gate, and the ship is able to make it through the gate because of that. And then they realize that Bone Clay was impersonating Magellan. Magellan shows up like, who the fuck told y'all to open the gate? It was like, oh shit, you told us to open the gate. He's like, that's not me, and then they do the whole who's the imposter fucking bit, right? And then Bone Clay destroys the panel after he closes the gate, so that way it would close behind them and the ships can't chase after them anymore. And it would take them forever to reopen the gate. So he was able to guarantee that over 240 inmates from this prison were able to escape. It was like the largest escape in this prison's history. The only time anything like this has ever happened. And it was genuinely a product of very specific circumstances. The specific individuals, their specific devil fruit powers, the specific time, the specific place that everybody was in was the only way that this major prison break was able to happen.
This is the second time that this has happened, by the way. It's not the first.
Well, I know that the other dude that from the movie had broke out of impel down. Shiki didn't cut his own legs off and escaped like that. So I don't know how the fuck he got out of there, but he did because movie says so. But this is the largest prison break.
He's like, because movie said so.
Because movie said so. So, everybody.
Sometimes it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's as simple as that.
Everybody escapes. They have a really heartbreaking moment where, Bone Clay didn't want Luffy to know that he had made that decision. Luffy's yelling at him, like, why are you always sacrificing yourself for me? Bone Clay is just wants to be a good friend, and he values Luffy's friendship and Luffy's confidence in him as well. And and we don't really get to see too much of like Bone Clay's reasoning as to why he wanted to do that. We just know that he made the decision. He told Jinbei that he was going to do it, and Jinbei knew the plan, and that's how they were able to successfully execute it. But they're under the impression that Bone Clay did that as a sacrifice. So he may not be dead, right? Because Oda doesn't kill characters off too often, right? It's very rare that a character actually dies. So there's a possibility that Bone Clay is still alive and just imprisoned and being tortured, and you know what I'm saying, and all that other stuff, right? I don't know. Maggie doesn't want to spoil it, so he's not gonna say nothing, but he's gonna make it obvious. So I don't believe that he's.
I didn't say nothing, bro.
I don't believe that he's necessarily dead because they didn't show us, a scene of him dying. They left it ambiguous on purpose, but they assume that there's a very large possibility that Magellan's gonna fucking have his ass. Which you would believe Magellan would have his ass. So if he survives somehow, I gotta see how the fuck that happens, but. In that situation, you would assume that Magellan would just melt his ass with some fucking purple shit. And everybody basically successfully makes it out. Now they're all heading to Marineford to continue their rescue of Ace. They learn, because the Navy calls the ship, they learn that Buggy is on that ship with them, and that they discovered things about Buggy's history that weren't necessarily public pieces of information, which I guess they did a lot of background searching on him. They announced to all the pirates there that Buggy used to be a member of Goldie Rogers' crew, that he was a pirate on that ship. Buggy's trying to be specific. He was like, no, I was an apprentice. It is kind of different.
I think a Buggy's a bitch.
But he was a member of Goldie Rogers' crew at some point alongside his brother Shanks, right? Like his pirate brother Shanks. So everybody's just like, you was on the Pirate King's ship, and you was cool with Shanks. And then he's just like, oh yeah, we met Dark King Riley or Rayleigh, right? And he's just like, "Oh, you met Vice Captain? Like, I miss him. How is he?" And everybody's just like, "Oh, you really are the GOAT." And he's just like,
everybody's like, "Oh my god,
yeah, you're the fucking GOAT. We love you, Boggy."
I knew. Oh
And
my goodness.
so he wants to take advantage of his hype, right, and kind of build a little bit more of a serious reputation for himself, even though he's kind of riding on the backs of everyone else's dirty work this whole fucking adventure. But he does convince the crew to ride with everybody into Marineford because he's hoping that he can become an emperor, is what he says. He says he wants to become an emperor. He says it this early. Yes, I know. He says it this early. So let's see. So they translate it in sub, right, where it says emperor, but in Japanese they say Yanko. So he says Yanko, but it translates to emperor. Um so
in never mind.
when he's talking about it and he has that inner monologue with himself, he says that he's gonna become that he wants to be a Yonko, which translates to emperor. But it just in the sentence in the sub version, he just says, and then I can become an emperor, or something along those lines.
So in the sub, they also use Yonko. Like that is a word that is used. They
Okay,
say emperor
they
as
use it as
well.
a title as
Yes,
well.
they
Okay.
use the word Yonko as a title. They do.
Okay. Yeah. And then it translates to emperor literally in its literal translation. So that I know is a thing, and that I know is now brought up for the first time here. So we learn a little bit more about Buggy. Well, the characters learn more about Buggy. And everybody's kind of on their way to Marineford. And it's a little bit right now of like that, okay, we're going to take a break from Luffy's high octane story, and we're getting a lot of those side stories where we're seeing Nami in Weatheria again, right? Because this is the second time they showed her to us. We get to see Robin fighting alongside the revolutionists on that bridge, that concentration camp that she wound up at, where they're forcing laborers to build this bridge between two islands. And we see Usopp on this island of man-eating plants. And then we see Chopper on this island with like natives and giant fucking birds. And we see Frankie's on this cyborg island and he has no cola, so they give him tea and he becomes very proper. Super. And yeah, the Japanese
He actually becomes British in
Yeah.
the dub.
Is that what it is?
Superb.
He becomes British. He's talking- his English
I gotta
changes.
go
I'm
look
like,
that up now.
So there's that, right? So we saw all of that. And the kid's just like, I miss the pervert. Where'd you go? I don't like this Frankie. So that he's trying to like get Frankie to come back to normal. Tells him about like this laboratory thing or whatever, and they're gonna go investigate it and look to see if there's technology that they could use to create cola, right? So that Frankie can get his cola back. So they're showing us everybody's side adventures. Sanji's where is in Ivan's kingdom, right? And is wearing a dress and makeup, and he's again getting in touch with his feminine side, and so that was an interesting adventure. And Zoro is too busy getting lost in a castle with Perona after she told him exactly where his swords were, to just go up the stairs and they're in the room, and then he just leaves out the other entrance. Like he just can't. And then like it just makes me wonder, because you were like, oh, like there's like a theory that the sword is what makes him fucking like dizzy and shit, like he'll never like know where he's going because he's holding on to this bitch's sword. But he was without that sword the whole time and still couldn't fucking find anything. So I think he's just an asshat. Like I think he just has that poor
Hopefully, at some point
direction.
they
no,
give us like some information, or Oda gives us some information on why he is so bad at directions.
I think that's just a part of his personality.
I don't think it's the actual sword, like him having it. I think because he's the owner of it. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
He's cursed by it because he's
get
the
away
owner of it.
I guess you could say that.
Once he relinquishes ownership, he's like, "Oh, this I'm gonna just leave this here. This is not mine anymore." I think that
he'll lose change. that
he'll know right from left.
Jesus. Yeah, that which is ridiculous. So Zoro's just roaming around this castle for 2 days looking for his fucking swords. It's like, what is this, a fucking maze?
No,
and she's tired. Bitch. She is tired of him. She is so tired of him. So we're catching up with the rest of the Straw Hats, what they're doing. Brooke is that they think Brooke is Satan. Like there's a whole lot of things going on. All the characters all the characters are in different places, and we're finally getting to see where the Straw Hat crew is kind of going. I like that they took a pause because we now know Ivan and where he's from and his kingdom and stuff like that, and now we know that's where Sanji is. Which is just connects the world together, right? So they're trying, Oda's building his world still, and then making the characters have new connections with one another. So it's good world building, and I'm appreciating it. A lot has happened. I probably glossed over a lot of details, even though I tried to be as detailed as I could have been. But there's a lot that's going on. Luffy is obviously very troubled. He's reminiscing about his childhood with Ace. He's sharing stories with Jinbei. Jinbei is sharing stories with him, about how he knew Ace and why he was even arrested by the government because he opposed the war with Whitebeard, and they relinquished him of his title. I also like the fact that Jinbei shows Luffy a ton of respect, even though, it just seems like Jinbei just happens to be that kind of character. Like he's just like an honorable type of person. Like he has that.
So the only thing you really skipped over was why Jinbei shows Luffy so much respect is because of Ace. When they were sitting in that cell together,
Ace told him a lot.
He was telling him a lot about Luffy. And then after all of that, he then saw Luffy
actually show the fuck up.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, you really about what your brother was telling me about. I gotta fuck with you. So I think that's why.
So he has gives so much Luffy a tremendous amount of respect because Luffy did actually show up, and it's just off of the bond that he has with his brother. He knows what he's risking, he knows what he's getting himself into, and it's just, no, I'm gonna save my brother. I don't care.
Boy broke into into a prison
the most
that has
impenetrable prison ever.
The shit
created.
Is under the water. It is under the water. He broke into that thing.
and he can't swim. And he can't swim. Yes. That's crazy. He successfully infiltrated, impelled down, and broke out over 200 prisoners with him.
within 20 hours or so, like 24
hours. A day. Let's just say a day. In one day, he successfully liberated over 200 prisoners from the most impenetrable.
He literally just told the government, "This is not safe, bro. This just sucks. All your niggas is out. Like all them niggas is out."
So, so now Luffy has added another notch to his belt, right? So I know that his bounty's obviously going to go up because of this, right? But I got to see what else happens when they get to Marineford, because that's going to play a huge role in, obviously his bounty, and then what happens to him versus the government, like in that part of the story. So we're going to see a whole bunch of things. I also want to point out that Shimada is very upset with you, Mac. Yes, because she got spoiled about what happens to Ace because of you guys talking about One Piece, and that was like the first thing you said when the video passes by. So she saw that clip on Instagram, and it was just like, yeah, so like, Ace didn't have to die. And then everybody's like,
All right, my bad. I
So,
mean,
so
damn.
I knew that, right? Because Twitter had spoiled me months ago.
Yeah.
Like I
She
knew
is
that
so
Ace.
mad.
I knew
But
that Ace
it's
was gonna die when I saw him in Alabasta. Like that's how long
trust
ago I
me.
had got spoiled.
Just because we said it,
But
she did not get spoiled. Because when she
You're
sees
not.
it,
Yes, it's different from me. Like me just saying someone dies is different from actually
seeing
like
how
seeing
it
how it
happens, yes.
happens.
So I know that
It's very it's a lot of irony, yo. Like you're gonna have a good piece when you see how you're gonna be like, wow, what
Just
the
tell her
fuck?
not to listen to any of the clips of just me and Crispin
no, she's
because
been
that's
like, oh,
literally
I don't
all
want
we
to. I don't.
spoke about.
She was like, I'm so mad. I'm so angry. I didn't know. I got spoiled, and now it's ruined. And I was like, oh, I don't
It's
know.
not ruined. I
It's
promise
not
you, it's
ruined.
not ruined.
We gonna know when you see it when you depending on
Yeah. So that's
your
that's where
attitude.
that's where we're at right now. We got through a whole bunch of that yesterday. But so we're gonna
you're
see
about to get a
you
peak
know
piece.
so
You're about to
so
get a
so
peak piece right now.
Sirmata brought up a good question as well, and I'll tell you what my answer to her was, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that I'm correct, but I don't really know 100%. But she was just like, oh, like I don't think this is like the time skip, like them being apart from each other. And I was saying, I don't think this is the time skip either because I remember being told that they agree to separate from each other. So
Who
I don't
told you
know.
that?
You.
Me?
Spoiling ass nigga.
That's cap. I never said that. That's cap.
Yeah, okay.
That's cap.
So
Listen. Oh,
You
you want
said
me
it
to?
was
I'm
you.
not
no,
one.
I don't want
One.
you to spoil it.
No, I'm
It-
not gonna spoil shit for you. Right? I'm not gonna spoil shit for you. I'm not.
You
I'm
just
really
told
not.
him that though.
No, I
You
didn't. I
told
said
him that.
who
He
asked.
said
I didn't
you
tell him
did.
that. It's
He
not
said
me.
you did.
I'm not the only
saying it was
person.
you.
I'm not the only person that John talks to that watches One Piece. So let's not do that. It's not on me.
Spoils.
It's
The
not
only
on me.
one that
I'm
he
not.
talks
Spoils.
One Piece with, probably yes.
Listen, right?
So
Listen, right? Listen, right?
I'm
Just
thinking, right?
keep enjoying
I am.
what you're watching.
It's
Don't
going
think,
well.
enjoy. All
I
right?
I have to think. I do these reviews for a reason.
All right, go ahead.
Um
Say
so
your answer to her, please.
so I told her that I don't believe so just because I know that we're not close to the time skip just yet. I know we have like some episodes to go before we get around there, but I honestly don't really know 100% like how the crew would meet up with each other and for what reason they would have to split up again after they're trying desperately to reunite with each other. And then like where would they meet up if it's not at the Sabbaty archipelago? Yeah, I love how you're just like laughing hysterically off camera. So so uh Crispin.
Hey
Sorry,
yo,
man.
stop, shut up. All right.
So like I'm just trying to make it make sense story wise though. Like it has nothing to do with any spoilers or anything like that. Like I know that these characters would need to reconvene at some point, and then supposedly a time skip happens, and that means that something needs to come to an end, right? Like something needs to be a definitive, okay, this threat is over temporarily, this issue is put to bed temporarily, we can pick this back up when we get to the next part of the story. Like something significant has to happen in order for a time skip to take place, and I know that just like from a writing standpoint. So I'm just trying to piece together what's going to happen after Marineford, where that is where the story is going to go. Because these characters all do still need to meet at the Sunny. And I know that there is a Fishman Island arc. So I know that eventually they will get the Sunny, coat the ship, and get to the fucking Fishman Island. I know it will happen. I know Jinbei might also have something to do with that now that he's a character that has been introduced. So, like there's going to be things that I know are going to happen. Like I also know like Luffy has to team up with Law at some point too. When and why is that going to fucking happen? So, I'm trying to figure all of these things out before we get there, and I just know that I'm just nowhere near those story details to get it. But that's where I'm at. That's what's happening right now in John's world of One Piece. Are there any other One Piece films that I can watch?
None. You can't watch any.
None, because I have to get past the
time skip.
I can watch Alabasta and Chopper.
Yes. Well, those aren't movies, but yeah, you can watch them. I wanted to actually ask you a question.
No.
So far, I'm gonna ask anyway. So far,
Yeah.
Have you heard any theme songs that you like?
Yeah, the one before it just changed. So the one where it's like, oh
yeah, that's fine.
I like that one. Yeah, that one.
All right, so you about to get to some good theme songs like soon.
They have like the softer one now, and it's very like gloom because you see freaking Ace being like
this is my favorite depressing song.
It's like a depressing type of opening. They're gearing you up for what the fuck's gonna happen to this character. They're making it fucking obvious.
Always because
I was thinking it's getting spoiled. See,
because you made it like a thing, and now I see all of Oda's fucking breadcrumbs.
There are breadcrumbs that you're missing, but it's fine. So
there's so much information I feel like I just skipped over because I'm trying to just
no. Honestly,
off the fly, I feel like remember all this shit.
I feel like you went. I feel like you
see
like
it is
actually.
been a month,
I feel like you actually spoke about like almost damn near everything. Like I don't think there's not a thing that you kind of glossed over. You talked about. You even mentioned the fucking wolves that fucking attacked these niggas. Like, so I think you went pretty much in detail about what happened so far. That's how I know you watched it, because I literally just watched it myself. So, yeah, I mean, I can't, again, bro, I say this every single time. I can't wait till you catch up so we can actually start talking about other theories and things won't be spoiled. But you're almost you're like, what, 459, 458?
I'm basically at 460.
Yeah, so like you're like
40 more episodes till 500.
Till 500. So it's like you're right there at the halfway, a little bit less than at this point, at halfway point. So I mean, bro, and that's like it's been a year since you started One Piece. Like next month will be a year.
Yeah.
And didn't I tell you that you could do this in like 2 years? Anyway, it's okay. I could be right sometimes. It's fine.
You could have done it earlier, but
I mean, he got a family. He be working 185 hours a week at the barbershop. So it's fine. No, he be working a lot of hours. Okay, he was telling me, "Oh, bro, I work 127,000 hours." And I'm like, nigga, shut the fuck
sounds
up,
exactly like what I said.
5,000.
It's over 5,000 hours.
It's over 9,000 hours.
But yeah, man, I'm happy that you're enjoying it. You're at like Crispin said, this is peak piece right now. You're at like some of the best parts of the anime, for me anyway. Rewatching it too, like there's a lot of shit that I forgot that I just realized and remembered. Honestly, bro, Buggy is the GOAT. And this is his GOAT story right here. This is the beginning of his GOAT story. So please pay attention to that.
The door of this GOAT story.
They're making him look like the hugest bitch on the planet right now on purpose. And I mentioned that because I know where Buggy ends up, right? Because of Twitter. So so I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is Buggy gonna go through to get from this fucking piece of shit character that he is now to that? And I don't know. So I just gotta watch it unfold. But right now he's definitely a waste of space.
Hey, he's a GOAT, bro. I promise you, he's the GOAT. I promise. But that's the end of the One Piece segment. I knew it was gonna do that shit.
I was about to hit the.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you gotta yawn like Zoro. That's what he does in this.
Just watch that shit. But yeah, I think that's it for us today, guys.
I'll see it.
Johnny B, please take us out, man.
Listen, if you guys made it all the way to the end of the podcast, we love and appreciate you, because this 2 hours and 15 minutes of pod, we give you a lot of content here. So if you've made it all the way to the end of the podcast, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching us on YouTube. Like the video, share it with friends and family that might also be interested in subjects that we talk about regarding anime and video games. Follow the podcast specifically on all of our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Discord, and all of these things, and Patreon, and all of the good stuff, right? So just follow Paradise. Paradise is spelled correctly down at the bottom of your screen. Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. But Paradise is spelled correctly there at the bottom of your screen. There is a $sign in there. If you're ever having an issue searching for Paradise, make sure you spell it that way, and you'll find all of our videos. If you are listening to us on Anchor, there is a very cool feature there that allows you to donate to the podcast, and any and all proceeds we get from you guys, the listeners, will help us improve the quality of said really loud podcast. And and that's all the time we have for you guys today. We will see you guys next week on another episode of Paradise Podcast. Tell us what you think about Scarlet and Violet down in the comments below.